Hello, hello. All right, we are bringing my lovely friend Emily on here. Right. Amazing. Okay. Yes. I can't hear myself.
Okay.
We were having echo problems before. We are no longer having echo problems. This is fabulous. We did it. I feel
We
so
did it.
accomplished.
Yes. We solved the mystery. Yes.
Amazing. All right. So, welcome. Today I am starting a new podcast live experience that I am calling Magical Unicorn Entrepreneurs by Design. And on every episode of this podcast, I am going to be interviewing and doing a live reading for a different soul-led entrepreneur. A lot of these entrepreneurs are people who I know from the mastermind that I'm in called The Vortex with Shoshana Raven. Phenomenal. Please check it out. And we are all people who are excited to be in business because we have a soul calling. We are here to save the world. We're here to change the world. We're here to make people's lives better. We're here to make the world a better place. And when that is the goal of a person's business, it tends to be very aligned with their human design. So, I'm going to be diving into the way that human design can help each of these entrepreneurs to dig deeper into their businesses and also to kind of show you why they're so good at what they do. So, today we have Emily Kocian-Dery on.
Yes.
So good to have you here.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes. I'm so excited to be here. Yes.
Yay! Emily is an energy and life design coach. She has a few different beautiful programs that are coming out. She just started Sparkle Summer Camp, which I'm very excited for you guys to hear about. And she is a 3/5 Splenic Projector. So we're going to be diving into a little bit of the magic of her human design. So, Emily, could you introduce yourself? Let us know who you work with and what magic you bring to the world.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and to hear more about my human design. I know we've dived into it a few times, but I'm really excited to hear about it in regard to my business and the transformation that's happening in my business right now. So super excited to be here. And yes, I've got Camp Sparkle coming in September. Really excited. It's for my spiritual girlies who are looking to dive deeper and to look and see what their gifts are. And if they need a little bit of guidance, a little bit of daily guidance, we're going to do 30 days in order to support the paths for my campers coming to Camp Sparkle. So super excited about that. And right now I'm working with a lot of small business owners, women in the spiritual health and wellness realm. And I'm looking forward to expanding that out a little bit further to more of my spiritual girlies. So I'm kind of like casting a wider net of who I'm going to be working with here.
Oh, I love that so much. And just right from the get-go, expanding that net is so aligned for your design
I love
as
it.
a five
Yes.
line. So yes. I feel like it's so funny because I literally like I can't not see the human design and everything.
Yeah.
So, but could you tell us a little bit about the you know what? No, I think you just did. I think you just told us about Camp Sparkle and you just told us about who you work with, and I love it. So, are you ready to dive in?
Yeah,
Kind
let's
of,
do this.
let's
Yeah.
do it. Amazing. Awesome. So, the first few things that I wanted to dive into today are kind of looking at first your incarnation cross. So, the incarnation cross is it's the four gates that kind of create a large portion of your personality, but they also dive into what your destiny is, what your soul's journey is here on this earth. And the four gates that are in that, the top of your incarnation cross are going to be the things that are most intense when you are creating something from scratch. Like, this is going to kind of be the core of how you move through the world. So the first one of these gates for you is gate 49, which is the gate of revolution. It's also called the gate of principles. And the line that this is in, I was just looking at one of the apps that I work with, and it gave us the word rebellion.
Ooh, that's good. I love that. Yeah, I need that.
Yes. So, and I love this because, Emily, like, I feel like your energy, like, you are someone who I feel like has so much of that rebellion energy just like living right underneath the surface, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
Like, it's not super obvious, but it's very, very much there. And if you go deep enough, like, if you get deep enough into a conversation, it's going to come out.
Totally.
And I think
yeah.
this is your conscious sun. So this is like the main thing that people see in you when they initially start to work with you. And so there is this kind of like energy of, okay, are we starting a revolution? Like, are we diving in against this thing that really doesn't make that much sense? And I think leaning too into that 5 line that we were just talking about, you are a 3-5. So your profile is a 3-5. And while this gate itself is not in the 5 line, as a 5 line, you are someone who is built to be a visionary leader. So you're someone who, in traditional human design, the 5 line is called the heretic. And I don't usually like using that terminology. It just feels negative. But the idea is that you are going to present ideas that are contrary to what other people think you're supposed to be doing. So having this gate of revolution, this gate of principles as your main way of moving through the world, meeting with that 5 line, you are here to lead people to their own revolutions. You are here to lead people into spaces where they're going to be able to kind of rebel against the life that they are currently living. And you have this gate in an in the undefined emotional center, which means that undefined energy is energy that you feel through other people more so than you feel for yourself. So you are going to be able to see other people's sparkle.
Right. Yes. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. So is this resonating for you, this
It
concept?
totally resonates. Yeah. Well, and it speaks to a lot of like just my personal history and transformation and overcoming addiction and being able to like get my sparkle back. And I feel like I see that in other people. And that's really what Camp Sparkle is all about is like, well, like overcoming the situation that you're in and finding the little things that light you up every day. So yeah, that totally resonates.
Oh, I love that so much. Yes, yes, yes. And hold on, are we echoing again? Wait, are we? No. Okay. I think it's okay.
Okay.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Is it still connected to your headphones?
Yeah.
It like popped out for a second, but
Okay.
I think we're good now. Okay. Wait, we're echoing again. Why is it happening? Why?
I am still connected to the computer and
Okay, maybe I was just I think maybe it's when I make a very loud noise. It's heard in
and then
your
you hear the
microphone
lag.
and then it comes
Okay.
through. Okay. It's fine. We're good.
Okay.
Okay. So, continuing on through this energy of your incarnation cross and looking at your destiny here. So, starting with that you literally see what others need to be able to rebel against the things that are not serving them in their lives. The next thing in your incarnation cross is your conscious earth is gate 4. Gate 4 is the gate of answers. So this is all about being able to provide a clear-cut, logical answer for things that are coming through. Now, the obvious like pit that we will fall into with this gate is trying to find an answer for everything, even if it doesn't actually make sense to have an answer for the thing.
Okay.
Wanting certainty, wanting to make sure that like, okay, I have an answer, even if the answer is that there is no answer.
Right.
And
Okay.
so the higher vibration of this is going to be grounding into the idea that the answer might be that we don't know. The answer might be that it's unknown, it is unsure. But you are going to kind of bring that energy of like people are going to come to you for clear-cut answers, and you are going to have to, because this isn't a defined center, so this is about your way of moving through the world.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to have to sit with the things that they bring you and acknowledge, okay, here's what we can do, and this is where there is still unknown. This is where we have to kind of live in the unknown of what is going on. So that actually kind of reminds me of how you had previously been working with ads and with, kind of like very clear cut, like this is
Definitely
the way things work.
defined. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. And now you're moving into a more kind of unknown space, but you're also still allowing for there to be an answer, which is yes, you're not crazy. Yes, you have gifts. Yes, you are someone who sees the world differently than other people.
Right.
And that's okay. It's okay for that to be the answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from there, we go into your unconscious sun and earth. And I want to talk about these ones together because your unconscious sun and earth gates are 43, which is the gate of breakthrough, and 23, which is the gate of assimilation. And these two actually create a channel. And they create one of your channels, which is the channel that we call the Genius Freak channel, because this channel is all about having huge breakthroughs and being able to explain those breakthroughs out into the world. But breakthroughs can only be understood by people who are ready to hear about them. So half the time you're going to open your mouth and people are going to go, whoa, what did you
Yeah.
just say? I want to
Right.
hear everything. And half the time you're going to open your mouth and they're just going to completely glaze over. Or they're going to be like, no, that's absurd. I don't want to hear about that. Especially because you have the 5 line in your profile.
Okay.
So what this channel does for you is it provides a very clear resonance for who your people are, a very clear understanding of who your audience is and who your audience is not.
Ooh,
So
okay. Yep,
the
I've been
trick with this,
experiencing that lately.
yeah,
Yes.
ooh, yes, wait, tell me more.
Yes. Well, I feel like it's what we talked about, like before we jumped on the live of like just like the karmic drop off and like that transformation that's happening. I think it's happening like globally with everyone, and I've felt it. I've experienced it since we came back from Barcelona. It's just like things that aren't meant to be in my life are just falling out, and that's okay. And I just have to let that door close. So,
Oh, oh, I
mhm,
love that. I love
mhm,
that. And that's also speaking to your 3-5 profile, which the 3-5 is relationships made and broken. So the idea is that you are literally built to move through connections as if you are learning something from the connection and then moving on into the next phase. So
I
you might
see.
find yourself moving through friendships or moving through partnerships in business, moving through colleagues, moving through clients based on what phase of your life you are in.
Totally.
Because,
Totally. I
yeah,
feel that. Yeah.
oh, I love
Hmm.
it. Because every time with the three line, you're built to explore. So that three line is built to be an exploration. It's built to be someone who, there's a lot of trial and error. So there's a lot of like, you show up, you try the thing, you learn from your mistakes, you mutate whatever needs to be mutated, and then you move aside and you go and you try it again somewhere else.
Totally.
But because you have that five line, every time you learn something new, you become the leader within that new thing that you learned, which
Mm.
puts you in a completely different mindset. So you're completely shifting. And because this is that visionary and you have that rebellion in there as well, this is kind of like when you come into a new idea, when you learn that something is now totally different and it's time to try this totally different new thing, you kind of need to leave behind the things that are not working with
Yeah.
the old
Yeah.
way
To
of
let
leading.
go. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So, when we're talking about kind of the way that you are built to connect with your audience, I think the most important thing here is to not be afraid of your voice turning people off
Mm.
because you are built to speak from your mind. You are literally built to let the words go right from your head and come right out of your mouth.
Yeah.
And some people are going to hear them and some people are not. And that is the way that you are built. And the people who can hear the things that you have to say are very much going to be excited about being in your
Hmm.
space.
I love that.
A really great example of this. So, Shoshana Raven, who runs the Vortex, who's our main coach,
Hmm.
she also has this channel. And so she's very much someone who, when she speaks, people understand her or they don't.
Yes.
And we have both found ourselves in her space. We love it when she
We get
talks.
it. Yeah, we get it. Yeah.
But there are a lot of things that she posts that people are like, wait, what? They just don't get it. And I
Hmm.
think a big thing, because I know one thing that you had said to me at one point was that you had kind of tried to copy different strategies from other coaches. And the thing with this channel is that because you are built to speak directly from your mind, every person who has this channel is going to experience speaking and connecting with the world in a different way. So
Yeah.
you need to honor what needs to come out for you.
Right.
So yes, amazing. Oh, I see someone in the chat. DJ B, so great to have you here. I'm glad that you are enjoying this. This is the Magical Unicorn Entrepreneur by Design podcast, and this is our very first episode. So I'm just diving into the way that Emily's design shows up in her business. So.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like that's kind of that first moment. And I want to talk a little bit about the connection between the 23 and the 43, that breakthrough to assimilation.
Yes.
So the idea with this is that when you have a breakthrough, so when your mind, because you have a beautiful defined mind that holds on to information until it's ready to utilize it,
Hmm.
when you have that moment of breakthrough, when the thing comes through and the pieces have fallen into place, you have the unique ability to take the pieces that have fallen into place in your mind and to share them in a way that is actually going to land. So a lot of people have big vision, big ability to see the spreadsheet in their mind, but being able to say it out loud in a way that actually helps people to understand what's going on in their brain, not so much. You are someone who has that unique ability. The gate of assimilation is all about being able to take information and assimilate it into the body, assimilate it
Hmm.
through the voice. So
Okay.
you have this unique ability to take concepts that seem pretty esoteric and pretty out there and turn them into something that is explainable, something that is learnable, and something that you can very easily tell other people how to step into. So I love this for Camp Sparkle.
Yes, it fits perfectly. And I think like the timing is just right for Camp Sparkle. And this is like the third time that I've heard I just need to like start my YouTube. I need to start my podcast. I need to just start speaking because what I have to say is going to impact so many people. And I was so scared for so long. And then I think in Barcelona, it was like, oh yeah, like I need to tell my story. Like so many people need to hear my story and to hear my transformation and how I've changed my life because it's going to help them to take those pieces that they need to hear from that transformation to help themselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes. Everything that you are saying is so exact. Yes. And I feel like this is like this. We are currently watching that channel in action.
Yeah. It's here. It's
It's
open.
here.
Yeah.
It's happening because you are literally having the breakthrough. You're seeing it in
Yeah.
your mind and you are saying it out loud in a way that is making
Right.
perfect sense.
Yeah. And in
And
set
so,
alignment. Yeah.
mhm, absolutely. Ah, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yay.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, the next thing that I wanted to dive into, let's see, how are we on time? Do we know how long we've been in here?
I
Like
don't actually know
15
when we
minutes?
started this one because we had two others.
Oh,
Let's
it's
see.
totally fine.
Okay.
Let's just keep it going.
Okay.
So, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, actually, before I do that, I always like to kind of do a little. So one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because I would like all of you watching to see what it's like to have a reading with me. And so if this is something that feels aligned for you, I would love, love, love to dive into your human design with you. And so the next thing that I really want to do is kind of give you like a little bit of like what all four of these gates kind of mean together. So you get a kind of understanding of what this incarnation cross is and how what your soul's destiny really is in this lifetime. So having that energy of principles, having that energy of revolution, being that main, like that main thing that you're holding on to, you're someone who is going to utilize your ability to have these breakthroughs and to speak them out so that people can understand them in order to create the revolution that you need to create. And you are going to be able to take that revolution and put it through that channel that's going to help you to explain it to the people in a way that's going to give people the sense of feeling like they've finally found the answer to everything that they've been looking for. So when you speak, when you let yourself channel that, and when you let yourself be that visionary, when you let yourself be that rebel, that person who's speaking out against the things that our society has decided are the way we're supposed to live, that is when the things that come out of you are going to be the answers, are going to be the truth, the truths that are coming through, and that will be heard as, oh, duh. So
It's so simple.
it's
Yeah.
it's so simple. It's so obvious. I always
Yeah.
love because you're so right. I always love it. Every time I go into someone's incarnation cross, like it feels so obvious. It's like, oh
Right.
duh. Like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah. Like,
exactly
oh,
who I am.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But also it's like a hard thing to
Yeah.
constantly like lean into who you are, to constantly give yourself permission to lean into who you truly
And
are.
just be who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, which I feel like is exactly what you're trying to do with Camp
Yeah.
Sparkle. So
Totally. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. All right, so the next thing that I wanted to dive into was some of your undefined centers. So when we look at human design, there are defined centers and undefined centers. And I feel like I need to figure out how I can like show your chart on Instagram Live. I don't know if that's a thing I can do, but if I figure it out, I will do it. Probably not on this live, but I'm going to play with it.
Yeah. to be able to put
Um,
up a little,
yeah, to be
yeah.
able to put up a little thing so people could see your design.
Mm-hmm.
But so there are defined centers and there are undefined centers. So our defined centers are the centers where we create energy and emit it into our electromagnetic field. So this is the energy that you have consistent access to, and this is what you are going to bring to the table as a coach. So we already talked about your channel of the Genius Freak channel. That creates a defined mind and a defined throat. So you're really going to bring that and that mind energy, that kind of like information coming together with self-expression to your coaching, as we were just discussing. Then the other two defined centers that you have in your charts, you only have 4 defined centers. The other 2 defined centers that you have in your chart are the spleen and the will center. And you have the channel of enterprise connecting them, which is also called the channel of surrender.
Ooh, okay.
So this is a really cool channel
Yeah.
because it's literally the beginning of the business circuit in human design. It's kind of where business lives in the chart, one of the places, because it's the beginning of the tribal circuit and um, how we provide service for the tribe. So the reason that it is called surrender as well as enterprise is because when we are looking at what business truly does for society, what business truly does for any tribe, for any individual, for whatever, it is providing a service that is required in order for society to continue to thrive. When we look at any business, grocery stores are there so that we can eat food. People who build houses are literally building our shelters.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches are helping people to connect to their consciousness, are helping people to lean into their lives more fully, to live fuller lives, to find their sparkle, whatever it is that we are built to do. When you are in business, you are providing a service. And so often we forget that business is providing a service. And we get caught in this idea, if I'm selling you something, I'm taking something away from you. Whereas the business itself is built to provide a service to humanity. And this channel specifically is about providing a service to the tribe. So this brings 2 different gates together. It's gate 44, which is the gate of patterns. This one is also called the bullshit detector. This is a gate. It actually connects to the sense of smell. So there's this energy of like being able to smell a rat. And it's about picking up on the patterns that exist within humanity and within the tribe in order to see what things require business, what things require service. So picking up on the patterns of, oh, okay, everybody here seems to have itchy scalps. Maybe if I create a shampoo that helps with itchy scalps, that is a service that will provide for this tribe. The other side of this is gate 26, which is the gate of integrity. And so on the one side, you have seeing the pattern. It is possible to see the pattern and to not stay in your integrity. Maybe you tell everybody, think it's like the snake oil salesman. You see that everybody has an itchy scalp and you're like, ooh, this will fix your itchy scalp. And it's actually just a bottle of alcohol, you know? So without the integrity of the other side of this channel, that seeing of those patterns can get kind of, it's easy for it to kind of get away with itself. But because you have this whole channel, this energy of integrity is something that comes in and requires you to put everything that you are creating and everything that you see that the tribe needs through the lens of, am I in integrity with myself? And am I in integrity with what the tribe is actually requiring when I am creating whatever it is that I'm creating, when I'm creating this service, when I'm creating this business? And the reason this is also called surrender is because there is a very intense requirement to take a step back and acknowledge that the self is not part of what the tribe needs.
Mm.
So when I talk about tribal energy, the first thing I always say is that the individual needs to thrive in order for the tribe to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
And while that is very important, and if we look at this from the perspective of how the individual thrives, it is about allowing the self to kind of take that step back and find the surrender, find the acceptance, find the peace with whatever it is that the tribe is requiring. And so, if the individual can find that peace, if the individual can find that surrender and can say, okay, I see, I get it, I understand, this is how I am built. This is how I am built to be used. This is how I am built to be seen. This is how I am built to show up. Then the peace that settles on that individual is what allows them to show up and provide and create whatever it is that needs to be created for the tribe.
Okay.
So these are the energies that you bring. That splenic energy is all about intuition. It's all about kind of facing your fears, facing the things that, having the courage to face the fears that are coming out for you. And the will center is all about motivation. So you are helping people to, what you bring to the room is a sense of motivation and that sense of courage, being able to follow that trajectory of what is it that the world, that the tribe requires from me, and what is it that I can actually provide for the world.
Mm-hmm.
So while you are coaching, this is the energy that you are bringing into the room, this energy of seeing the vision and being able to share it and express it in a way that can be understood, and having those fears and then acknowledging that with the right motivation and with the right integrity, you are here to bring something bigger to the world. So not only is this the way you are built to show up, but this is the energy you bring into the room with your clients. So this is what they are going to feel when they get in the room with you. Totally. So when you stand up and do something like Camp Sparkle, they are going to feel that clear sense of integrity coming off of you and are going to know that they can trust that what you are putting into the world is exactly what, that they can trust, that they are supposed to be here to hear what you have to say. So the most important thing for you is to lean into the things that you know are important and to let your voice speak them out without fear of being rejected, without fear of being projected upon, because getting back to that 5 line, it's a big thing with 5 lines where people will project their crap onto you. Yes. And it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So how is that resonating as far as what energy you bring into the room?
Yeah, it makes so much sense. I feel like it makes so much sense based on like that transformation from Barcelona and just like realizing like that my story that I have to tell is the transformation that I've made in my own life and how other people need to hear about that. And like there is life after getting sober, there is life after like addiction, and you can have the life that you have always dreamed of, and it's just like right there. It's right there. And you just have to like do one day at a time to get there. And that's what Camp Sparkle is all about, is like little exercises to like ping off of your intuition and find really what resonates with you, so you can take a few things after that month and go forward with them.
Oh, I love that. And I think that's so aligned with that channel we were just talking about, and with that gate of patterns. Totally. You can see the pattern. And I think when you get in the room with people, when people are coming into your space, you are going to be able to help them to see the steps that they need to take in order to go where they need to go.
Exactly.
Amazing. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about are your undefined centers.
Okay.
So your undefined centers, in human design, the undefined centers, so the places where you do not create energy, these are places where you take in energy from other people. So what that means is that while you can take in other people's energy and hold on to it, and that happens, and we often deal with conditioning because of it, the way your undefined centers are really built to work is for you to feel into what other people are experiencing so that you can see it for them in a way that is super enlightening. Because when you have an undefined center, it's kind of like this epic form of empathy where you can literally feel what the other person is feeling. And then you have the ability to amplify it so that you understand it super, super well. So the way that I am this image is coming in for me right now. I've never explained it this way before, but the way I like to think about these is kind of like a prism. So when the energy comes in for you, you kind of project it out and amplify it the way that like a little like pyramid prism would amplify it as a projector. And I think this is probably the case with other people who are not projectors, but who just have different undefined centers. But I feel like, especially because of projectors and the word projector, it feels kind of like you are projecting this energy onto a screen in front of you, and you can see all of the things that this person could do to shift the way that they are moving through the world. It is so obvious to a projector what others need to do in order to change their lives. There is often, especially when, because I'm also a projector, especially when projectors are working with sacral types, so working with generators or manifesting generators, but honestly, I see this in all sorts of places. We see potential. We can see when somebody has more to give. We can see when somebody has something underneath the surface that they're not letting out. We can see when someone is stopping themselves and sabotaging themselves, and all they have to do is step over here.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
I think having that makes some people really uncomfortable.
It does.
Because they can kind of feel that you know that. Yeah.
100%. 100%. As a
Mm-hmm.
projector, have you ever, like, you look at somebody and they immediately look right at you? This is like, it's such a thing with projectors because, like, our auras are literally penetrating.
Yeah.
So we literally, when we look at somebody, when we put our attention onto somebody, they can feel us penetrating into their aura and seeing into their soul. Like, it is like such a huge, almost like an invasion of their privacy, just us like looking at them. So they can feel it. They can feel the oh my god, this person knows me way more than I gave them permission to know me.
Right.
Which is why it is so important for projectors to wait for the invitation to speak. And that is one of the big things, especially with your Genius Freak channel, that it's important for you to listen for that intuitive invitation. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I have been talking about a lot recently is this idea, because a lot of people have heard you need to wait for an invitation as a projector and feel so disempowered by that. It can be so disempowering for someone to say to you, no, you have to wait until somebody else tells you that you're allowed to do something before you do it. And so a lot of projectors will either kind of like shut off from human design, or they will just sit and wait and feel like they are sitting on the sidelines of their own life, waiting for something to happen. But the truth of waiting for invitations is that those invitations are always energetic. Sometimes they will come out of somebody's mouth and that person will say directly to you, I would love for you to tell me what my sparkle is. I would love for you to help me to figure out this thing. Mm-hmm. But sometimes they just, you look at them or you say something to them and they go, oh, interesting. Can you tell me more about that? Or maybe they are sitting in a corner and they look like they're having a really, really bad day. And you feel like they are actively asking for somebody to help them feel better, to ask them how their day is going. And you feel that pull.
Totally.
And it's an
Mm-hmm.
energetic thing. And you know the difference between someone who's sitting in the corner who does not want to be bothered and someone who's sitting in the corner and really wants someone to reach out.
Right.
As a projector, you have that deep intuition. So it's not about waiting for somebody to say to you, I would like you to speak now. It's about learning to listen to your body and learning to listen to your intuition so that when you feel that pull, you know that you're being invited. So much of having, and all this whole discussion for anybody who's paying attention at home, this is all about having an undefined sacral center.
Mm-hmm.
Being a projector means having an undefined sacral center and not having a throat motor, which is something that we might get into in another episode. But having that undefined sacral center means that the energy that you can feel into from other people is that kind of raw life force energy. And it is about their humanness, people's literal moving through the world. So seeing people step by step, seeing the energy that someone is holding with them in a moment, being able to feel whether someone is moving towards you or pulling away from you is something that you are going to be able to feel because you have that undefined sacral center. And that is why projectors are called the wise guides of humanity, because we are built to guide people because we can see all of the things
Yes.
that are happening. So
Yes, I love that. It makes so much sense.
amazing. Yes. Um, okay. And then the other, oh my God, there are so many things that we could talk about in here. So I think one of the other things that I wanted to touch on, because you are diving into other people's sparkle,
Mm-hmm.
is your undefined identity center. So the identity center is all about love. It's all about self-love and love of others and love of humanity and love of the tribe and of spirit. All of these different kinds of love live in the identity center. And you have the center undefined, which means that you are not going to exhibit a kind of clear sense of this is exactly what I need to feel loved. That's going to be fluid based on who you're connecting with. Your love language might kind of shift depending on who you are working with, who is connecting with you, whether it's a partner, whether it's a friend, whether it's a colleague. But you are going to be able to deeply understand what other people need to feel loved and what other people need to feel a sense of belonging. As someone with an undefined identity center, you're going to kind of be a chameleon. You're going to belong anywhere that you decide you belong, regardless of whether you actually fit with everybody,
Right.
because you're actually built to be fluid in your identity. So a lot of times people with undefined identity centers end up feeling this kind of like I don't belong because I can't be like everybody, I can't be like other people kind of thing, when you're actually not built to have a distinct identity. You are built to be fluid within the way that you show up in spaces with other people so that you can feel into who they truly are. And because of that, you're going to be able to feel into other people's sense of identity, other people's sense of self love, other people's sense of self loathing, those things that they are not showing up for themselves with, and those things that make them who they are, those little natural sparkles. So,
Totally.
is this
Yeah.
something that you tend to find?
Yes, exactly. And I feel like we've talked about this before too, with like the sense of belonging and that needing an invitation, and even like in the community that we're involved in knowing that like it's okay, like you can overcome that and energetically like find that invitation somewhere else. It doesn't have to be like outright, like, but that makes so much sense with the identity too. That makes a lot of sense. And I feel like that's always how it's been. That's always how it's been for me. Like since I was a kid, it's like I can kind of be a chameleon and go to a bunch of different groups, but like make that connection and build a bond with anyone. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Yes, exactly. And I think one of the big parts with this is kind of figuring out how your sense of self care and how you are caring for yourself within the fact that you are not, you're kind of a chameleon within different groups. And like, how do you show up for yourself while you are showing up
Mm,
for others?
yes,
Right?
yes, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about here, because you had talked about wanting to kind of consider this next phase of your life and like where you are heading, where you are going versus where you are coming from. I know you talked earlier a little bit about this kind of like karmic shift that's happening for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So before I get into this, I would love for you to kind of give us a little bit of background of like what is shifting for you right now. What is this karmic shift? So we can get a little context, and then I'll dive into the specifics of the gates that are in here as your north and south nodes.
Totally. Yeah, so great question. The karmic shift that I've really been feeling over the last few months is the type of clients that are coming to me and what they're coming to me for and how they're finding me is just like it's so perfect and it's so aligned with like where I'm heading. And you know, at the same time as that is happening, that like influx, the inflow, I'm like having clients exit that are not meet like they're not matching with that future. And we talked about this. We talked about this in April. And I think like right after we talked about that at our mastermind in April, it was like just like kind of like subtly happening and now it's like boom, like it's happening, like it's really
I love
like
it.
accelerated. And I think because like quantumly I've like opened the doors for that to happen, the influx and the outflow is like okay, like this is it. I'm going like somewhat imperfectly and I'm just gonna do it. And I don't always need an invitation because that's kind
Mhm.
of like what I was waiting on for the last couple months.
I love it.
And then after Barcelona, I was like, all right, like this is, it's so obvious. It's been so obvious for a long time, but like what you said, where it was like, I wasn't ready to
Mhm.
see it and hear
Mhm.
it, even for myself. So I had to be open to hear it, and that's like where I am now. So,
Oh my God, I love that. I love
mm-hmm.
that moment too of looking at that Genius Freak channel and acknowledging that like there are moments where like that is also an energy that you experience. Like
Right.
this is how you speak to the world, but it's also a
Yeah.
deep experience of yours. And like
Mm-hmm.
that is what the channels and the gates in human design really embody. It's these deep understandings of different things. And so a big part, a big theme in your life is going to be leaning into when am I ready to have the breakthrough? When am I ready to understand what comes through? Like
Right.
listening to that divine timing, allowing yourself to be present with not being ready yet. And then when it happens, you're gonna know. Like
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
there is no other option, you know? Like
Exactly.
it will
Yeah.
be clear and the breakthrough will come through your body, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's how Camp Sparkle came to me. It was like, oh, I just like had this dream drop in, and I had been talking with Vivian about it, you know, and she was like, okay, just keep a journal right next to you, like, and when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, when it comes to you, it's gonna come, and it's gonna come like soon, and it happened within a week, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But that's like, yeah, I feel like that's how it is. That's just like I need to be open to that channel and being able to express that for myself and to believe it and to be like, okay, it's here, and just like keep going instead of overthinking it, because I think as projectors, a lot of the time we end up kind of like overthinking it in a loop.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
mm-hmm.
We do lots of looping.
We do. Yeah.
But oh, I love that. And I love that kind of like, that's something that I have never thought to give to my clients who have channels that connect the mind to the throat. But that's so real. You guys need to have a journal by your side at any moment, because
Always,
when
yeah.
that idea comes through, it's going to come straight through the expression. Like it's going
Right.
to appear in your mind and come straight out and need to be put
Yeah.
somewhere.
And
So if
to
it's not,
physically write it down, I think is super important because it's nice to have your phone and have notes on it, but there's something that keeps flowing through you as you're writing that you don't get as you're typing on your phone. It's not the same experience. Yeah.
oh, that's so real. Yes. Yeah. And I very much experienced that as well. And I think, yeah, it very, yeah. And I don't have a defined mind. So the way that I express is very different. So for me, writing things down doesn't always function. My partner actually just started doing exactly that. Like he just started keeping a journal, and he also
Awesome.
has a channel that connects his mind directly to his throat. And so I think this is because I've heard this from other people who have throat mind channels where they'll have ideas that come in and just need to come right out. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
It's so powerful. Yeah, it like wakes me up in the middle of the night. I'm
oh
just
my
like,
God,
"Doot, doot, doot." Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Oh,
Mhm.
that's amazing. Okay, so now with that context and with this understanding of where you were and where you're going, I want to look at your north and south node gates. So, the north and south nodes are all about the trajectory of your life. And throughout your life, you will likely be on a bunch of little journeys of going from your south nodes to your north nodes. And there's going to be this kind of overarching life trajectory of starting at your south nodes and going to your north
I
nodes.
love this. I love
So,
this so much. Yes.
amazing. So, your south nodes are your conscious and unconscious south nodes are in gate 6, which is the gate of conflict or friction, and gate 46, which is the gate of embodiment or love of body. So you are coming from this kind of deeply embodied space of being in your physical form and being in a kind of like tribal conflict. It's about this like gate 6 is very rooted in physicality, the friction energy. It's actually part of the channel of reproduction. So this is deeply rooted in what like the roots of humanity, how humans are created. And gate 46 is about the body. It's about moving the body. It's about being in the physical body. So you are someone who is coming from a deeply rooted, deeply embodied place. And the gates that you are moving into, and I absolutely love this, you're moving into gate 36. This is your conscious north node, which is the gate of crisis resolution,
Mm,
and gate 25, which is the gate of love of spirit or of innocence. And so you are coming from this place of being very stuck in body, stuck in space, caught kind of in the earthly needs, the earthly requirements,
totally. Yeah.
and moving into this connection to spirit and this understanding that the crises that are happening in the world have resolutions, and you are able to help those resolutions to come into play by trusting in spirit and by trusting in your own ability to be innocent. And I recently had innocence come in a breath work for me. Like, I think it was yesterday morning. I literally had innocence come into me as like a whoa, because this word innocence, I feel like sometimes gets a kind of like this negative connotation of
Yeah.
like, oh, stupid, oh, young, and, like not experienced. Innocence is that time before you were jaded. It's the time before something happened that made you fear getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
A time when you were able to simply shine
Yeah.
because you wanted to shine.
Unfiltered.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this gate 25 to me is the sparkle. Like, I always think of gate 25 as like, it's the childlike wonder.
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
the chasing a butterfly energy.
Yes.
And so this is the energy you are moving into. It's that chasing the butterfly and acknowledging that, yeah, stuff is going to happen. There are
Mm-hmm.
going to be crises. That conflict exists, but you are going to be able to find resolutions for it. It's a bigger overarching concept that's going to bring us into greater change. And if you lean into that spiritual side, if you lean into that connection to spirit, that connection to divine, and that ability to act without fear of getting hurt, you are going to, that is what's going to bring you into the next phase of your transformation. So moving from that like deeply embodied place, which is not a bad place to be, right? Like being
Right.
deeply
Yeah.
embodied is not a bad place to be. It's just that you are built to connect with the divine. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you let yourself kind of go from that place of embodiment and move toward that divine connection, you then find yourself understanding new things and then coming back to your body and then moving further. It's kind
Yeah.
of like, we're here and then you go back to here, but then you're up here and then you go back to here, but you're getting a little further, you
I
know?
love that. Yeah.
So,
That makes so
yeah.
much sense with where I have been. I mean, I have three little kids, so I've been like very much in like that
Mm-hmm.
body, like, like base, like what are our like needs for survival and like, like making sure everybody is good and okay in their bodies. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm like moving and using that transformation that I experienced myself getting sober and finding my sparkle and like helping other people spiritually to find that innocence and that sparkle again. And that just like makes so much sense. And I actually just got this tattoo a couple weeks ago with the North Star.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Look at that. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. I absolutely love this. I feel like
This is
we're coming to
amazing.
the end of this
Yes.
reading, but I feel like everything that we've talked about today is just like setting you up with the authority in Camp Sparkle. That like it is so clear to me that you are going to be able to help so many people to find their sparkle.
Yay.
So if anybody is interested in finding their sparkle, please check
Yes.
out Emily. She is Emmy Lulu Energy, right?
Yes.
Emmy Lulu
Yep.
Energy on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And where else can they find you? Is there somewhere
Um,
else that they should contact you?
yes. So you can find me on Emily Lulu on Instagram, and I can also post a link too. I can share a link with you for Camp Sparkle registration. So coming soon in September is when we start.
Perfect. So I'll make sure to put that in the show notes for the podcast. And if you enjoyed watching this reading and you are sitting there thinking to yourself, oh my God, if that information was available for me, I feel like I would understand what I am supposed to do in the world. I would understand what business I'm supposed to create. I'd understand what step I'm supposed to take next in my business. Please reach out. I would love to work with you. It is literally my favorite thing to get to work with soul-led entrepreneurs. I have a lot of different people who I work with and who I've connected with who are already on this path. And it is so amazing to get to bring human design into the conversation because it is totally unique to every single one of us and gives you so much insight into the way that you move through the world and the way that you connect with others, aka the way you can help people.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to work with you. And if you would like to, you can go to my website, which is kayla-care.com. You can book through there. That's KAYLA-CARE.com. Or you can contact me on Instagram. I'm _Kayla_Mason. And I will put all of those links in the show notes for the podcast. Or if you are joining us live on Instagram, it'll be on the links in my bio. So thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
for
us.
having me.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Emily. I love this. Oh, I'm so glad that you were my first.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That you were the first magical unicorn entrepreneur on
Yes.
the Magical Unicorn Entrepreneurs by Design podcast. Amazing. All right. Have a wonderful day. And yeah, I hope to have you on again soon,
Yeah,
Emily.
sounds good. Okay, bye. Take care.
Bye.